So welcome everyone to the Success Patterns TV show. I am honored and excited to be here with you, Brigitta Hoeferle. Finally got a haircut. Finally. Took me like forever to get a haircut. I'm telling you, I'm sitting there and he's just chopping away and I'm like, geez, where's all this hair coming from, right? Oh, I feel so much lighter. I am super excited that you are here with us today as participants and as viewers, as you can see and hear us. And I am even more excited and honored that I have a very special guest and guest expert here on the Success Pattern Show, Miss Christiana Carter. Christiana, great to see you here and thanks for jumping on.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I absolutely love you and I'm happy to be a part of your show for sure.
So Christiana, we want to, give our viewers a great idea of what success means to you specifically, because success has so many faces, right? Success can mean so many things to so many different people. And we want to go a little bit on that journey of, how do you define success? But before we do that, before we, jump in the deep end, I want to give the viewers a little bit of an idea of how we met and how you helped me back in the days. So why don't you first tell everyone where you come from, what is it that you do, what is your special superhero power, and then let's jump right
absolutely. Perfect. Well, everybody, my name is Christiana Carter and I am a clarity strategist. So what is that? Basically, have you ever organized your space? I organize your mind, I organize your thoughts. We throw away what's unneeded so that way you can focus and get rid of all the clutter that's stopping you from being able to move forward and take action. So I'm passionate about that. Also helping people see their value and being able to communicate it effectively. Those are all parts of clarity. And so again, if you don't have a clarity strategy, what happens is people throw spaghetti against the wall and then they end up spinning and spinning and spinning and they never get the traction that they really want. So I am super passionate about helping you get from where you are to getting clear so that way you have a map to move forward and be able to bring forth and share and serve your community and make the impact you want to make.
And let me tell you, when she says map, I am not kidding. It is literally a map, right?
It is, yeah.
And she, because I just had a session with her again and one of my clients on Monday, and she just, she shares a screen and then she just goes to town and she just writes whatever we spew out, literally, she just puts, and then she puts it, oh, and this needs to go here, and oh, and this needs to go there. And I'm just, so happy that our paths have crossed. And, our paths first have crossed where you were telling me, what to do on stage, literally.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, yeah. When you were first getting into training on stage, oh my God, that was like ages and ages ago. How funny.
It was. And I sucked in the beginning. As Jeannie, she's on.
Here's the beauty. We all are terrible in the beginning. And it's like somehow, and I firmly believe that this is in school, that we get indoctrinated that being poor at something while we're improving is frowned upon. And then of course, we just want to go from nothing to greatness. And we fear the arc of learning as we go. And so I feel like so many people don't feel they have enough value to give it a try, to even like move forward and have sloppy success. And so for me, it's like, I feel like if I can help you get out of your own way so you can move down the path, so you can see that you have value and the other thing is people are always freaking out because they're like, I'm not Tony Robbins or I'm not this person. Your audience is behind you, not in front of you, right? They don't care that you're not the Tony Robbins or the 1%. They just want to know, hey, you were able to go from here to here. Can you get me there too? And if you can take me there, I'm fully with you.
I agree. And thank God for your patience with me. That was absolutely beautiful. And then fast forward, and I want to pick up later on. I need to make me a note. Sloppy success, because I want to pick up on that. I said that on
yes,
training
that's really, really important. Yeah.
Yes. And someone called me out and said, tell me more about sloppy success. And I'm pretty sure our viewers want to hear more about sloppy success too. But then fast forward, we were in a mastermind group, and we were in dare I say it, the Trump Tower in Vegas all the way at the very top.
Before it had the meaning that it has now.
It's going to come back and haunt me, I already know. Either way, but we were in the penthouse all the way on the top.
Mhm.
We actually had our kids with us, and they were in the other room playing at the time. Now they're like, you know, playing. Are you kidding me? I'm 15 and 19. I'm too cool for playing. I'm going to watch TikTok or whatever. Anyway, so, and then we were literally sitting on the floor. You were sitting on the floor with me, and you had a flip chart in front of you or a poster board or something. And you were pulling, as I was talking, you were literally pulling the words that were just kind of scrambled in my head out of my mouth. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like you know, those chain link, big old heavy steel chains. That's what it felt like as she was pulling it out, and it became lighter and lighter and lighter. And Christiana just put it on a poster board, and I was like, oh, I still have the poster board with all of my other 5,000 poster boards.
Wow.
But the point that I'm making here, she's absolutely genius at what she does. Do you remember that day?
Oh my God, I absolutely. That's when I was teaching like how to map your mission and vision, and I was sharing, and then we would do 2 hour or an hour of implementation and go around, and as people were having questions, so we just literally were on the floor, on the carpet, elbows, you know, just really kicking it. And then what was so beautiful is you're brilliant because you have this huge heart on wanting to serve, and you're like this super fast-paced personality. So oftentimes if you can't get it, it slows you down and you get that frustration. And so if you guys have ever felt that way, where like, I have value, but how do I get it out of my mouth? You know, like, I know I have value, I know I can do more. And what happens is we feel like we have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's having someone exterior to where you are, and someone
Totally
who
agree.
isn't blocked by your barriers, to be able to go, well, wait a second, let's look at it this way. And what about this way? And oh, what if we just went here? What if we just looked at it from this degree or this angle? We shift the perspective just a little bit. And then all of a sudden things start flowing. And then you can like go, ooh, okay, well, you would do this now. What about this? And what would come next? And what about this? And then all of a sudden it like starts flowing. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, that chain turns into a waterfall, and you're like, everything's coming out. And you're like, oh my God, I feel so light.
It was absolutely beautiful. So if you've never experienced it, definitely get with Christiana, because she's absolutely amazing. But tell me more about sloppy success. What does that look, sound, and feel like?
Sloppy success is being willing to just take everything that you have, throw it out, see what you have, and take an action. My quote that I will be famous for is, you are only as successful as your content is implementable. Let that sink in.
Note that.
You're only as successful as your content is implementable. I am a clarity strategist. This does not mean add clutter to the world and just vomit on people. It means give them something that they can get a result. So if I can give you something and you can implement it and you can get a result, my value goes up because I'm actually helping. But if I'm just dumping a bunch of data on you and making you feel like you have further and further to go and you're deeper in the washing machine, that's not serving anybody. It's just clutter.
And it's funny. Yes. And I love that you say that, because too many speakers, program providers, whatever you want to call, you know, self-announced gurus or whatever, are doing exactly that.
I know. And, you know, and the whole marketing strategy is bonus, bonus, bonus. And I'm like, but how can you give a bonus? Now, I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm going to prove my theory, because if you give somebody 40 hours worth of work, and then they have to do that, or they feel like that's now an open loop in their life, or like an incomplete cycle, you've now added like almost analysis paralysis to them moving forward with you. So while it may feel like a good thing that will get them to buy immediately, it's going to make them feel like a failure, because it's just more stuff they have that they pay for that they haven't utilized and they didn't get a result. And again, it's your content isn't implementable. You're giving way too much. It's like, think about a baby bird. Right? You give the baby bird a crumb or the whole loaf of bread. You give them a crumb. And then what do? They fly away, they eat the crumb, and then what do? They immediately come back, and they usually bring 2 friends with them, and they go, well, how about, can I have a crumb? And can I have a crumb? And this is a really good analogy. It just came out. So can I have a crumb? And you'd be like, yeah, I'll give you a couple crumbs. And you drop a couple crumbs. The next thing you know, you have a whole entire flock. And instead of just dumping one loaf of bread on one bird and killing them from like having them overeat, all of a sudden you're feeding an entire flock. So if you want to build a community,
Oh,
I just came up with that. That's a brilliant analogy. I'm going to make sure I keep using it.
I mean, brilliant analogy, right? I hope that you guys made a note of that. And by the way, Jeannie, who's also part of our participants here, who's going to be on the show week after next when I return from Puerto Rico, because I gotta take my haircut out. She is the implementation meister as well, right? She is she has a whole tool belt system, and she and that's part of her value. Her values or her value is that you cannot go and sign up for something if you have not implemented the other stuff that you have, because now it just becomes shelf help, right? Now it just becomes something,
and it becomes the thing that keeps you held back. Because every time you think about something else, you go, well, I haven't done this and I haven't done this. And that little voice in your head gets more and more traction, gets louder and louder, because now you're consuming. It's like, I love analogies, right? Because it's kind of like you have a sponge and you're washing the dishes, right? Well, learning is like getting water on that sponge. It's really important. But in order to use it effectively, you must wring it out and then fill it up again and wring it out and fill it up again. But have you ever had, it's kind of like when you do all that and you buy all that content and then you leave that wet sponge sitting there, what happens? It rots, it mildews. And then you've got a stanky smelling sponge that you don't want to use, right? Yeah, so again, you do what you do. Like. And this is what people do. They go, oh, wow, now that's a stanky smelling sponge. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to feel like that. So they chuck that out, and then they go learn in a whole new avenue and get a new sponge and drown that sponge. And they throw that out and they go get a new one. And then they end up with all this stuff. And then they feel like they've really spun their wheels. And for me, that's like the biggest, saddest thing that you could do. It's like, take one nugget and apply it and get a result. And then take another nugget and apply it and get a result.
That is key right there. If you didn't pick anything else up, that is key right there. How do you define success, Christiana?
Getting a result. So first of all, for me, in my work with my clients, getting them to go, where they can see it, right? It's like when all that energy is pushing against them and they have to force through it, that's when there's no movement, right? It's almost like you have counter intentions, and there's something in NLP for it, but it's almost like,
it's incongruent.
Yeah. But again, right, they're two intentions fighting each other. But if I can clear it up and then you say, oh my God, there's my picture.
You're probably talking about parts, two parts.
Yeah. Going in other directions. So you can't ever make any traction. But if you can get really clear, then all that energy you're pushing through now comes behind and propels you forward, because now you're congruent with what you're doing. So for me, if I can get lock people
arms, right?
Exactly.
Now those parts lock arms, and it literally comes out like a chain, like linked together. Wow, that's powerful. So results, and here's a funny thing. I ask that question a lot. What does success mean to you, whoever I interview? And the answer is always different. And I'm going to say 9.9 out of 10 times, the person that I'm asking what success is not about themselves. It's not something that they're experiencing. It's something that someone that they're helping is experiencing. Big difference, right? And those are the kind of people that I want to surround myself with. And I sure hope those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with.
Absolutely. Yes.
So what do you do constantly and you might have done for many years or even decades, that show you results in some way or another? Is there some sort of pattern that shows up for you in your life that you do like almost on autopilot?
I map. I create maps. Right? And again, because the most important thing you can do is empty your head. Get it out of your head, because if you're in your head, you can't see anything clearly. You have no perspective, you have no power, you have no momentum, no leverage. So for me, it's like, if I can get everything out of my head, see what I'm dealing with, and then I can pick a way to move forward.
I call it the washing machine.
100%. Yeah, it is the washing machine. Because
if you don't get it out, it just goes.
Yeah, and if you leave it in there, what happens is it actually kind of goes down, because then, how come I haven't figured this out? Because the most important thing that I want everyone to realize is there's always something you can do about any situation, any condition. There's always something. And if there isn't something, it's too broad. You need to keep breaking it down so you can get that one piece. Because what I learned from skydiving is all fear comes before the first step. Because once I stepped out of that plane, there was no turning back. So I was just in the experience, right? And it was like, and when I was landing, I had to figure that out when I was landing. But all the fear, all the turmoil, the month when I signed up to when I actually went was the most painful month of my life, because I was like, I don't know, da, 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 da. And it's like, we live our lives like that. Right. It's like, oh my God, will I die? Will I not die? Well, I don't know yet. We don't know. But again, it's like everything comes, it's like, how do I explain it? If you're willing to be in discomfort, your life will open up to you. Because what happens is everything in life comes down to, first, you have to have clarity. But clarity is just the starting point. It's not success. It's not stability. It's motivation. It's inspiration. It's all those fun feelings. Because now you're at the precipice of possibility, right? Where everything feels amazing. But then you have to make a decision, take an action, get a result or not get a result, make a new decision, take another action. And you're constantly like then the plane on and off course. So if you're willing to face discomfort, if you're willing to say, you know what, this sucks, but I'm just going to do it anyway, and I'll turn it into a game and make it fun. But if you can just be in that discomfort, just lean in when you want to pull out, all of a sudden your entire world will shift, because then that discomfort won't be uncomfortable after about a few days. And then more discomfort will come up or more things will come up, but then you'll have more inner strength to handle it and move through it. And again, it all comes down to what's the one thing you can do in this moment to move yourself forward. And if you can just take that step, so get it out, figure out what you can do, and then take action and be willing to experience discomfort, I think is really just the three things that I would say. If you could just do those things, then you can move, can move mountains. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's being willing to do that and being willing to suck along the way. Nobody's perfect. Let me tell you, one of my mentors, I was organizing, oh God, I can't even remember the guy, but he had like some big software company that everybody was using. It was like Wishlist or something. And it was like the membership software when it first came out for memberships. And I found my mentor's beta version. It was horrific. It was horrific. I wish I saved it, because I thought, oh my God, he's a millionaire now. But his starting point was 10 times worse than what I came up with my starting point. But I was comparing myself to where he was now instead of where he started. And so if you can really just get that piece, because again, you're only as valuable as your content is implementable.
Boom, mic drop right there. How do people get in touch with you, Christiana? How do they find
you can go to claritymapping.com, clarity, CLARITY mapping.com. So you can go there on my website. If you want to book, I do free clarity consultations. If you want to do that, just go to meet with Christiana. I know, right? Just meetwithchristiana.com, or you could go to claritymapping.com. And again, you can sign up for a session there as well. So Christiana is CHRISTIANA, Christiana, meetwithchristiana.com. And yeah, set up a clarity session with me. I'm happy to walk you through, help you get clarity on where you are, where you want to go, what's in the way.
Guys, do that now, because you will thank me later. Trust me. Trust me. I'm still so grateful for all the clarity work that we have done and continue to do, because I keep coming back, right? I go, I need to get this. I need to get this mapped out. And I'm a damn good coach. I'm just going to say it the way it is, but not for myself. But not for myself, right? We need other people. We need other people in our lives. So thank you for being on the show. I'm gonna put the recording here. So I don't know if you saw the new feature on Be Connected. All of the recordings of the live sessions are now under the live sessions. So you can go back at any time to listen to any of the recordings. I posted them, all of our recordings from the last few days and weeks. We've been live now for I think 2 weeks, so they're all showing up.
Wow! There. Thank you so much.
To see your own show, because you have a lot to offer.
I'm excited. Yes, thank you so much. I have it. I just have to again map it out, know what to do, and move forward. Right? Exactly.
There you go.
Follow my own advice.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, Christiana. Thank you for your time. To everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.